Caitlin Clark's Wilson basketball is taken off the shelves at a rate that is comparable to the rate at which she makes three-point shots. What about the ball that belongs to A'ja Wilson? Is it still there looking absolutely stunning on the shelves, or has it also disappeared? For the purpose of determining which of these basketballs is the one that has fans opening their wallets at a breakneck pace, let's break down this competition. Despite the fact that you might consider it to be nothing more than another basketball, Caitlin Clark's Limitless collection is anything but typical. Do you remember when we said that this was going to be a thing of history? Make sure you are prepared, because what Clark has accomplished in this situation is nothing short of revolutionary. Let us dissect it in detail. It is not only a first for Clark to have her own signature Wilson basketball line, but it is also a first for women's basketball since the days of Michael Jordan in the 1980s. Are you able to believe it? A gap of nearly 40 years passed before another female player received their own signature line. This is the gap that we are taking into consideration. That is a tremendous amount. And what is it about these basketballs that makes them so unique? Simply slapping a name on a ball is not enough to accomplish this. There's a narrative behind each and every design in the Limitless collection. Furthermore, it is not just any story. It is Caitlin Clark's story. Assume for a moment that one of the balls contains a handwritten note from Clark that was written in secondary school. To what did it refer? Seek out a scholarship to play basketball, put on a show in the WNBA. Imagine being able to make your dreams come true. One could say that they are holding a piece of basketball history in their hands. Moreover, that is not all. All of the things that make Clark the player that she is are celebrated using these designs. What is her signature celebration after a three-pointer? That is where it is. Which of her accomplishments broke records? Without a doubt. These designs even include her ability to get the crowd excited and energized through her performance. As you read this, you might be wondering, okay, these are some really cool designs, but do people actually buy them? Let me tell you, the word buying does not even come close to describing it. In this context, we are talking about a full-blown shopping frenzy. Initially, the collection was released to the market with 4 distinct models at a price of $99.95. The eView NXT 3951 game basketball, the WNBA Ascent basketball, and the Repetition basketball are all available. The Repetition basketball is priced at $24.95. And what do you think? They were all purchased within a few hours. Decades! Do you have any idea how excited people were to get their hands on these basketballs while they were still available? However, this is where things start to get really interesting. Due to the extremely high demand, Wilson was unable to keep up with it. Each and every model was virtually immediately marked as sold out or out of stock as soon as they were made available to the public. Simply put, it's as if they disappeared into thin air. Don't worry if you're feeling a little bit disappointed because you didn't get the chance to participate. In the month of August, Wilson intends to replenish his supply. On the other hand, let me tell you that if the initial launch is any indication, you are going to want to be quick off the mark when that restock arrives. Given the excitement that has been generated by Caitlin Clark's collection, you might be wondering, what about A'ja Wilson? Before we continue, isn't it true that she also has her very own basketball? You are absolutely correct, and we are about to discuss the basketball situation involving A'ja Wilson soon. First things first, let's talk about the basketball that A'ja Wilson is most known for. In the same way that Clark's is a part of the lineup, Wilson Sporting Goods also has it. At this point, however, things begin to take on a slightly different appearance. In contrast to Clark's collection, which is generating a lot of buzz thanks to its one-of-a-kind designs and personal touches, Wilson's basketball is going in a completely different direction. You are aware that Clark's balls contain handwritten notes and professional highlights from her career. A'ja Wilson's basketball, on the other hand, does not quite possess the same level of personal personality. It does have her name and branding, but it does not have those unique design elements that really give you the impression that you are holding a piece of the player's story in your hands. However, it is important to note that A'ja Wilson is still seen as a significant figure in the world of basketball. When it comes to basketball, her signature style is right up there with that of other star players like Sabrina Ionescu and Angel Reese. If you ask me, the fact that it can even be purchased in the form of a miniature basketball is pretty cool, and it's possible that you're wondering, okay, but how is it marketing itself? Is it selling like Clark's collection, which is flying off the shelves? It is at this point that things begin to take a very interesting turn. Do you remember when we mentioned that Clark's basketballs were completely sold out in a matter of hours? There was a lot of competition among fans to get their hands on them. The story of A'ja Wilson's basketball is not quite the same as the one described above. Please don't misunderstand me. It is still available and people are purchasing it. However, the same buying frenzy that we witnessed with Clark's collection is not manifesting itself here. There has been no mention of Wilson's basketball being sold out in a matter of hours or of fans eagerly awaiting restocks from the company. So what exactly is going on here? As to the distinction, why? A'ja Wilson is an incredible athlete, and it is not about the quality of the player that that is being discussed here. It would appear, however, that the marketing and the one-of-a-kind appeal of Clark's collection have been the primary factors in its success. Think about it, Clark's collection is a signature series that is only available in limited quantities. Get it before it's gone vibe can be felt emanating from it. However, A'ja Wilson's basketball is a part of a larger collection than the other items in the collection. Although it is present and it is solid, it is not producing the same buzz as before. How does this indicate that A'ja Wilson's basketball career has been a failure? Certainly not at all. It is still available, it is still a part of the lineup that Wilson Sporting Goods offers, and it continues to represent an outstanding player. When we consider the performance of the market and the excitement of the consumers, however, it is abundantly clear that the collection that Caitlin Clark has created is currently in a league of its own, and it's possible that you're telling yourself, okay, so Caitlin Clark's basketball sold out in a hurry. Still, what exactly is the big deal? To tell you the truth, just selling basketballs is not the only thing that's involved. The strength of a brand is the topic at hand. Is that Caitlin Clark you? She is no longer merely a player these days. To put it simply, she is a phenomenon. Do you remember when we mentioned that Clark's basketballs were completely sold out in a matter of hours? It's not just plain old luck, it is a harbinger of something much more significant. When we talk about star power, we are referring to the kind of power that would turn everything she touches into gold. What about businesses? They have taken notice. However, this is where things start to get really interesting. It's not just that Clark is well liked, the game is being altered by her. The fact that she is the first female athlete to have her own collection with Wilson since Michael Jordan is something you may not know. You have it right. To break down barriers that have been in place for decades is what we are talking about here. Perhaps you are now wondering, what is it about Clark that makes him so unique? Why are businesses rushing to collaborate with her regardless of the circumstances? It's not just one thing, that's for sure. The combination of talent, charisma, and timing is like a perfect storm. To begin, there is her excellent performance on the court. Clark is not merely a good person. She is so good that she breaks records. But there is more to it than that. People are drawn to her because she exudes this energy and the presence that she exudes. When she is playing, it is impossible to look away. What's more, her influence extends beyond the court as well. There is more to Clark than just playing basketball. She is causing a whole new generation to be inspired. Are you still remembering what she said about her collecting? I hope it inspires the next generation of boys and girls to pick up a ball and play. The kind of message that resonates with fans and companies alike is the kind that you just described. However, you shouldn't just take my word for it. The following is an excerpt from what Amanda Lamb, who is the head of global brand for Wilson, had to say about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is not just a record-setting athlete, but a cultural icon who has had a profound impact on the game, a symbol of cultural significance. When she was her age, are you able to believe it? There is a possibility that you are currently thinking, okay, but what does all of this mean for Clark? Let me tell you, it has a significant impact on the situation. No, we are not merely discussing Wilson in this context. Clark's also has partnerships with companies such as Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm, and in light of the current state of affairs, right now we are just getting started. Give it some thought. Athletics professionals who are able to move products are in high demand by businesses. Is that Clark? She has demonstrated that she's capable of doing exactly that. In a matter of hours, all of her basketballs were sold out. Decades. That is the kind of selling power that causes businesses to take notice and sit up and start paying attention. But now comes the most exciting part of the story. We are just getting started with Clark. While she is still in college, she is also just starting out in her professional life. Could you even fathom what will take place when she finally makes it to the WNBA? When does she begin to break records both professionally and in her personal life? At this point, we are not simply observing a fantastic player. A brand is being born right in front of our eyes. An organization that is redefining what we consider to be feasible in the realm of women's basketball. A brand that is serving as a source of motivation for an entirely new bunch of players and fans. It is important to keep in mind that you are not simply observing a basketball player the next time you see Caitlin Clark on the court. We are witnessing a phenomenon right now. A symbol of cultural significance, a brand that is going to change the game one basketball at a time, and it's already sold out.